half this country knows that the media is a fraud, are a fraud. Half this country knows that they're a fraud, but doesn't admit it to themselves. Because they know I get from the New York Times and CNN what I want to get. And that's it. I mean, to have bona fide emails from a server reported by one of the biggest newspapers in the country, then blocked by Twitter. Did Facebook also block it? Because I think they're subpoenaing the Mark Zuckerberg too. I don't know. I know they are in the case of Twitter. But you know, I read to you this week that increasingly what I say to you, that truth is not a left-wing value, the more and more left-wing professors acknowledge. The idea, I read to you, I forgot, there's a Stanford professor emeritus. The idea that the press should be committed to some notion of objectivity is ridiculous. This is what's called post-modernism. It's a large body of thought in the university where the most destructive ideas percolate because these people have nothing better to do, and none of the consequences of their ideas are played out at the university. See, if you invent an airplane and it doesn't fly, you die, right? But if you invent an idea at a university that doesn't fly, you get tenure. You do fly. The idea doesn't, but you do. So it's very important to know this. I assume if someone is a journalist today, the person may be nice and all these wonderful things. But I assume, doesn't mean in every single case it is true, that the person doesn't believe in objective truth. They believe in pursuing social justice. I warned against this for 25 years ago, that all the professions no longer saw their profession as an end in itself. Journalists thought, telling what happened, that's boring. Changing society, that's exciting. I have a theory. As you know, I have theories on a lot of things. I have a theory, and I haven't seen this elsewhere. That doesn't mean it isn't elsewhere. It just means I haven't seen it. I don't even think the living martyr has heard me speak about this. The role of excitement in human endeavor. People seek excitement. So you have to figure out a way to have benign excitement, or even positive excitement. Or how is this? You have to figure out how to be happy without constant doses of excitement. I'm often asked on the radio, privately, so Dennis, if you could have lunch, supper with anyone, who would you want to have it with? And I honestly answer, with friends. That really excites me. And the living martyr knows it's true, because he's one of those friends. That's very exciting. But young people have nothing like that. Most young people, and many of them seek excitement in protests. Many of them, and a fraction of them, seek excitement in destruction. I'm not comparing them, I just want to make that clear, but there was a phrase that was known among the SS: I never feel as alive as when I'm killing. The adrenaline rush of burning a building must be quite remarkable. So the bourgeois, middle class, Judeo-Christian values are regarded as boring. That's the contempt that the excitement seekers, aka leftists, the excitement seekers have such contempt for that. A two-bedroom house with a picket fence, with a white picket fence and a dog and a two-car garage. It bores the living daylights out of them, this thought. Exciting is transforming society. Maybe I'll do the happiness hour on the excitement issue. Because people do need excitement. I completely acknowledge that. I do. The trick is to be excited over mundane things. That's, you know, how about you? Are you excited to go back home at night? I hope so. That'd be great. You have hobbies that excite you? Anyway, we'll talk about that in the happiness hour. So we have some clips from the town halls, the dueling town halls. So the NBC sends a woman, what is her name again? Savannah Guthrie, yes. About whom I can only say positively, she didn't wear a mask. George Stephanopoulos wore a mask. How many feet away was he?
No, he wasn't wearing.
He wasn't wearing a mask? Wow, I got that wrong. Was Joe Biden? Then, oh, it's funny. I listened, but I didn't watch, and I saw pictures. Okay, good. Look, I'm sure you're right.
They may have walked on.
Okay, fine. All right, good. So forget the whole mask thing. I take it back. Jury, ignore what I just said. Anyway, she acted as a debater. And I don't believe George Stephanopoulos did. You would think that the dominant issue in the news with regard to what was revealed in Ukraine and Burisma and his son, not mentioned. Is it mentioned at all in the mainstream press? Does the here's the New York Times. Do we have it from yesterday too, by the way? Okay. Is there anywhere on the front page any mention of the emails?
No.
When they illegally obtained the president's tax returns, was that on the front page? Yeah. And there was nothing to report other than he paid very little tax. So much for the press's honesty, correct? That's the question I'd like you to ask. Do you believe the mainstream media strive for social justice or objective truth? 1-8-PRAGER-776. We'll hear some clips.